so early. It's so early. You guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee! Coffee, 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 coffee!
God damn, Jimmy. That's some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Here we are. With two Gerrys, no less.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm fucking. Our internet's not working at all. We got another fucking 10 days of this shit before they send the tech here. CenturyLink is garbage. They are garbage. They're a monopoly. They know they were a monopoly, and so therefore they don't put forth any effort. So, yay. Apologize to all of the folks watching right now, but you know, life sometimes gives you lemons, and you have to squirt it in other people's eyes, and that's what this show is. Lemon in your fucking eye. I can't see everybody in the go over there. We got Gap After Dark is here, the Gap previously known as Stargate. Of course, Lauren was watching, but our internet's shit, so she can't even watch right now. Yeah, she can hear me. She's right there. Anima Confused is here. Good morning, hon. Pat S is here. Hey, Pat. How you doing, Pat? Yeah.
Penny.
Yeah. Penny is here. Good morning, Penny. Stephanie Beatty is here. Good morning, Stephanie. Stone Pie Media, another Springfield friend. And I think that's it. I've gone through the assortment of names so far that I see. Let me see if I spot anybody else. Scrolling through. Yeah, that's all I see. Oh, Dr. Dragon is here. Saw Dr. Dragon. Okay. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to Life of Shit, Day 1. I think that the problem is with our internet here is that they've got a 20-year-old fucking wall mount. CenturyLink has not bothered to update this house. They have to be aware of it, you know, because there are dates. So every time they do an update, they're supposed to check on their customers. Didn't happen. But welcome to the show that lasts as long as my coffee. If there's anything that went right today, it's my big heaping cup, 32-ounce cup of hot coffee. And I put a little chocolate in it, so it's really got a good taste to it. Hey you. So, man, here's what I'm thinking. Keith's not here. I can't invite him. I can't do anything right now. Keith needs to be invited. I can't even call him because I'm using my phone for the show. I'm going to postpone my John Milius day. And the good news is, one of the other reasons I was late today is because I got a phone call right after I woke up. It was from Dale and Julia Dye. So I was on the phone with them and I lost track of time. And I got exciting news. If you weren't aware, Dale Dye worked with Milius. And Dale and Julia are very good friends with Milius. And they're going to follow the proper channels. They're not going to, I mean, we've been friends for over 20 years. And I've been their artist for 20 years. They're going to go through the channels properly and connect me first with Milius's assistant. And my concern is if he's even able to speak since the stroke, because they've never really said anything. I've never seen anything. They did that. If you watch the documentary, Milius, it talks about it. And that was when I first became aware of his stroke, was in the 2013 documentary. And I really want to, he's the only celebrity, because Julia, in all the years I've known them and that they've known me, I have never asked once to introduce me to anybody. Really? What the fuck happened there? Now I'm in a different spot. What the fuck? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Can you hear us?
All right. So I am actually using the proper channels to get in touch with John Milius. So today is not going to be a John Milius day. This is going to be, I have to survive doing this show today. I'm very frustrated by it. I apologize. My frustration is manifested on my face. I know that I don't look like I'm really ecstatic to be here, but I am actually very happy to see you, everybody. Hex Allen is here. Hold on, let me see. Morning, man. Good to see you. D. Bud Martin. I put extra heavy cream in it today, so don't be surprised if you see like almost a milk mustache on me today. That stuff is good. Gives it such a rich flavor. There's no sugar in it. I use heavy cream, and heavy cream is pretty much like straight protein, no carbs, no sugar. And Kingsport-Town, what's up? I might drop out a little bit, but I think you are good, Gary. Thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate it, man. So today is, I apologize, it's not going to be my John Milius day because I need to have total control of the show. And I'm like lucky I'm on here right now. So what I'm half tempted to do, and by the way, John, can you get a hold of Keith? Because I can't get a hold of him. I can't get a hold of him because I'm on my phone. On the show. No, buddy. No, I'm not going to go through my coffee fast. I won't do it. But right now, I am absolutely on my phone. I only have like 1 gig left, so that's going to go quickly. And then this will start stuttering. I'm probably going to have to upgrade and get more let go lasts of Tickle Trunk. What the fuck does that mean, Tickle Trunk? What is that? I don't, what does your change of name mean?
It's a play word with Legolas and girl.
Oh, Legolas. Okay, now I get it. Okay. So, But it's going to be interesting because I'll talk a little bit about Milius because, first of all, to talk about Milius, I need to talk about Dale Dye. And they share some of the same relationships with filmmakers in Hollywood. And I will talk about one thing with Milius. When he got blacklisted, and it's talked about, he's talked about it openly. When you are friends with Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, Brian De Palma, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, you are business partners with these people through Zoetrope. When you hear the words that he's been blacklisted in Hollywood, what that tells me, and it should tell every single person out there, is that his friends are assholes. Because when you're friends with those guys and you get blacklisted, they're not doing their part. In fact, I suspect that some of them, because of his politics, said, "Oh man, that's too bad. Glad it happened." I'm not saying Steven Spielberg, Francis Ford Coppola, De Palma, Lucas, and Scorsese are fucking commie pinko assholes. But I'm saying they're assholes. I can't prove the pinko thing, although I suspect Spielberg is. Because you'll notice one thing that's consistent about him. He will not make modern military films. He'll do a show that shows modern military, Falling Skies. He'll hire somebody to write that first script for him because his first draft wasn't very good. So he gave it to somebody else and then not give them credit for it or pay them for it. That's Steven Spielberg. He will sit to the side in his director's chair playing handheld mobile games, planning out Medal of Honor while somebody else directs all of the combat scenes in his movie, and he doesn't even give him second unit director credit. That's the kind of person Steven Spielberg is. And don't get me wrong, James Cameron did the exact same thing with Aliens. He had one of the best military advisors Hollywood has ever seen help him plan everything out, and then hired someone else to be his military advisor. Kick that guy to the curb. His military films have won more Oscars than anyone in the history of Hollywood. And they like to use him and then not pay him or give him credit. And some of these are the same people who fucked over John Milius. He's got shit friends. He won't say it. Neither would the person I'm referring to here in this conversation. But I know fucking assholes when I see them. And I don't like Steven Spielberg on a personal level. I have a lot of grudges against him for things he's done to people.
We have a super chat.
Oh, we got a super chat from Keith and my good friend Stone Pie Media. Hi, thank you for the, what was it, $1.99? Thank you. It's a super sticker. I can't see what it is. They won't show me.
It's finger up.
Finger up. I don't know if that's this or this. Which is it?
No,
this one?
it's the
index
up.
finger. Okay. Thank you, Stone Pie Media. Very kind of you. I can't play a video, so if you can play one, Martin, just pick one.
Yes.
You pompous,
Find one.
stuck-up, snot-nosed, English, giant, twerp, scumbag, fuckface, dickhead, asshole.
Oh, I got Keith's voicemail, not quite Keith, so...
Call a second time. It usually takes that much to wake his ass up if he's in a deep sleep.
Okay.
If he can't make it, it's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. The show may be a little shorter today. I may only do an hour. Thank you, Tickle Trunk. $2 finger. Yes, I'm number one. Thank you. I'm number one. I saw that. Thank you for the number one sign. Tickle Trunk, thank you. You play any video for him. I don't fucking care. Fuck you, Tickle Trunk. No, I love you. Play him Arnold, the grabbing arms with Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers.
Here.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
I like that video. So I hope, am I coming through clear? Is there any extra noise, or is the audio good?
No, the audio is fine, and the image is clear.
Clear? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've got a fan going, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't getting picked up.
Keith is on his way.
Oh, he is. I told you the second phone call works. I know Mike Keith, man. He's my buddy. I fucking know him. I'm just going to tell you guys, I'm going to have some fun. Everybody knows I have a thing for Anima. I'm madly in love with that girl. She's so amazing. Just one of the biggest perks in my life right now. So, Gap After Dark, I've seen some really good horror movies. One called Husk, the other one called The Arbor. Hey, send me links to those trailers so I can check those out. We love you, man. I love you. I do this show because of you guys. And you know what? It's funny. Pat's here. Pat and I had just talked last night on the phone. And I pointed out, because it's been pointed out that I'm really close with my panelists, and I'm very close with my chat. And I said, that's important to me for some reason. I don't know why it's so important, but it is. And I do this show for the chat, the morning show, and I wanted to build that rapport even more, because I feel like I was already close with a lot of you guys through the TGIF and Saturday Morning Fun Time, but I wanted to do something that was just me talking to you guys and interacting with the audience. It's audience participation. What am I, fucking that guy with the watermelons? What is his name? Gallagher. Make you guys wear raincoats. So, but if I did, it would be for different reasons. I'm just saying. You think about it.
Yeah, I don't need to think about it.
No, I was going to have like one of those spray bottles. What were you thinking?
Oh, yeah.
It's because Gerry is going. I couldn't read that one. Sorry. Tickle Truck said something. It jetted past me. Can you grab that one, Martin?
I'm sorry, what?
Tickle Trunk's comment there. I lost it because it's like on this tiny screen. It's because Gerry is going to ask one of us for a kidney soon. Look, man, I'm just saying that's not out of the question. It's like, yeah. Well, it's sort of like that situation. Look, when I was in the Army, I served with some great guys, and I kind of really, and I know it's weird, I kind of developed this affection for all of you the way I did when I was in the Army for all the guys I served with. And there was this one guy that, I was very close with. And after the Gulf War ended and we got out and got on with our lives, he called me one day, and he says, "Hey, man, can I come by?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So he drove like 4 hours to come see me. And we sat there, and he was him and hawing, talking about other things.
And we lost. Yeah, we lost Gerry.
We lost? I think you kick him out to take over the show.
I don't have that kind of power. You're the one's got all that power. If it's anyone, it was you. So anyway, Gerry was talking about how we like the fans, and that's certainly true. I mean, he liked me enough to add me to the show. Of course, that may be because I actually know him. Otherwise, I don't know why he tolerates me.
Nepotism.
Nepotism, yeah. But yeah, I don't know where Gerry wanted to go with the show after this, since we're not doing Milius. I feel bad now.
Oh, you feel bad?
Look at Geekosity magazine.
Yeah, I will have to. Oh, hey, Gap. The movie was The Arbor from 2011, or I I I mean 2011, or The Arbors from 2021. Oh, Scott is here.
Morning, Scott. I've shared the screen if you can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in news that surprises no one, it's been officially confirmed by Geekosity that Ezra Miller's Flash has undergone massive rewrites. Warner Brothers Discovery ordered a massive script rewrites for Ezra Miller's The Flash movie. Connected with recent developments of bringing Ben Affleck back with Jason Momoa's Aquaman, reshoots have been ongoing for the studio. Apparently, there are pickup shots and new scenes for The Flash. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav stated The Flash is one of the movies they have seen and they do like. He also stated they can make it better. It was during this time they also announced DC Films is going to be focusing on theatrical release for its movies, moving away from HBO Max projects. In the same statement, he mentions the upcoming movies like Black Adam and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. People realize he did not state the Aquaman sequel. A few days later, Jason Momoa posted to his Instagram that Ben Affleck is back for additional scenes in the movie. Just this week, YouTuber Syabdul, I don't know why I said Sib, Syabdul disclosed The Flash is getting massive script rewrites. Furthermore, these are the very reasons they are still picking up scenes. Ezra Miller's been attending scheduled reshoots as planned. The movie with the Scarlet Speedster as a centerpiece is undergoing major refinements. While the 10-year plan of David Zaslav is still on the drawing boards, it seems that the studio means to align what it can with while they still have the time. At present, the release of The Flash is still on for June 23rd, 2023. Could these pickup scenes and rewritten parts of the screenplay showcase more Affleck? Will the movie show the rest of the Justice League? What about Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman? Are they having Henry Cavill's Superman on board as well as Ray Fisher's Cyborg? With Fisher vowing he will not take on DC projects while Walter Hamada is still in the company, anything can happen until the editing team finishes with the movie. After all, Hamada officially exists as DC Films president in October, in addition to rumors swirling that Dan Lin replaces him. Flash no longer features Hamada's post-Snyderverse reboot. Therefore, they're changing The Flash to reflect that. Instead, the movie continues the Snyderverse timeline.
Whoa, that is really cool.
Yeah, sorry, we lost Gerry for a few minutes, so I had to pick up.
Hey guys, wow. On the one hand, I'm not surprised they're still doing it. They've invested a lot of money. This is definitely going to happen. On the other hand, I can also see why some people are kind of surprised. But again, there's been a lot of moves made and a lot of money. The Flash is very important at this point. So if Ezra is in the middle of an apology tour and trying to repair his reputation with the help of Warner Brothers Discovery, then yeah, this film's definitely going to happen. And with all of the changes that Aquaman 2 has been through, and that a lot of the things that have been said about even the upcoming Black Adam, they are in for this, and they need it. Okay? They really do need it. You can't afford to really reboot at this point without having to recast a whole lot of people. And I don't see really the logic in trying to reboot everything at this point. You've got a lot of really cool characters, a lot of cool actors attached to it. Once Hamada's gone, I think even Ray Fisher will be back. And I know there are some people who don't like him, but here's the thing. You know, the dude was correct about the things that he was correct about. There's no sense.
Yeah, I agree with you, Keith, because it's pretty simple. Yes, I don't think he was lying. I don't think he was exaggerating. But he really did wear thin on a lot of people's nerves with the whole victim call thing.
Yes.
And I think he took some of it a little too far. And I'm hoping on all hopes that Zaslav sees fit to let Snyder bring him back. But the question I have is, did that wear thin on even Snyder? Because we've never heard him talk about it. He's never talked about it.
Well, there isn't much for him to say. That was that interview with Zack Snyder that they published just before the premiere of Zack Snyder's Justice League pretty much tried to cover all the bases. I think what Snyder had indicated that those stories kind of made him sick. He cares for everyone that he worked with. He loved working with them. They loved working with him. They would do anything for Zack Snyder. I think every single actor is indicated they would do anything for him. And as far as I know, none of them have actually physically even had a sit-down meeting with Zack since the last time he saw them, last time that he worked with them, with the exception of maybe there was one. And
well, I'm going to point out, because once again, they're saying things in the chat, and I wanted to point out that one, I understand you, Monkey Jeebus. I actually do. I really do. But Gap After Dark, I'm not telling you what to do. You do your thing. I'm telling you, because I understand everybody's feelings on the subject. But when it comes down to it, I regret supporting the Last Jedi. I went to see it 6 times in the theater, and that's because I was used to doing that. I was used to supporting Star Wars. I didn't quite catch yet what Rian Johnson's subversive anti-nerd, and I already knew he was anti-nerd. I've watched him and his friends for years shit on nerds. It wasn't just Star Wars fans. He's been doing that shit for years, trolling people. He had a buddy of his and a female friend, and they would just trifecta fuck with people. And I stopped following him on Twitter because of it. And that was before Star Wars. And when you heard that he had to purge like so many things off of Twitter, it had nothing to do with Star Wars. It had to do with all the fucking nerds he fucked with. He likes to troll nerds. It doesn't matter to him what they're a nerd of. World of Warcraft, comic books, doesn't matter. He just likes trolling people. He hates fans, is really what it boils down to. So of course what he did was subversive towards the fans. That's the way he's wired. He's a fucking asshole. We go back to this shit. You've got all this weird shit going on with Flash. Ezra Miller being a psychopath. Cult leader, grooming people for his religion, his version of a religion, and then they get him in for 90 days. Is what we started hearing, is that before anything was said, one of the reasons why he disappeared was because he was already in rehab or whatever the fuck they put him in. Treatment's a good word. That's a good word. Treatment, and it's after that 90 days that the apologies started coming out. I still call bullshit. I don't think he pinned those apologies. But then he stepped up his game and apologized directly to the board at Warner Brothers Discovery. That was a little surprising. I still wouldn't fucking believe him because I know the recidivism with mental illness. It's going to happen again. Just when. It's sort of like Shia LaBeouf right now. He finally went rock bottom and was going to blow his brains out. He actually was sitting there with a gun in his hand, and he got told to go to AA, and he talked to this sponsor, and the guy blew him off. He says, "We'll talk tomorrow." Just blew him off, and he was forced to not be able to shoot himself because the guy shined him on till the next day, and the guy absolutely blew Shia LaBeouf's mind, because he didn't treat him like a star. They went to a beach the next day, and he made him get down on his knees on the beach right in front of the water. and then made him say some stuff. And then he got down on his knees with him. And he says, there we are. Now we're in this together. And when you hear him talk about it, it's like, you hope that Ezra Miller gets a moment like that. Shia LaBeouf was fucked. He was using drugs. He was using booze all the time. And it fucked his life up. But now he's clean. And if you've not seen the interview, guys, go see it. It's between him and I just forgot his name that plays the Punisher. You didn't know he has his own show.
John Bernthal.
He has his own show on YouTube. And he interviewed, because they're friends. They worked on Fury together.
Yeah.
I don't know why Thomas Jane popped in my head first.
Well,
because I'm old.
I'm older than you. Fuck you.
I've heard about that interview, and I know that it's caused some problems for certain things that have come up since then. Have caused some problems for the director of the last movie that he was in. But
well, he admits it during the fucking interview. He's talking about how there was always somebody there to save him from getting fired.
Yeah.
and basically he relied on that. He talks about how he relied on it. That having Brad Pitt to make a phone call for him, the director, producers, and that enabled him. And that's my problem with a lot of these people. Fans do it too. They enable these actors to fucking keep doing what they do. Jim Carrey needs real help, real fucking help. And he's got these enabler fans that support his bad behavior.
Mm-hmm.
He's a beautiful person. I'm not saying he's not a beautiful person on the inside. I'm saying he's fucked up. And you saying those things to him tells him it's okay to be fucked up. And it's like, no, he needs help. And that's the problem with a lot of the people in society is, they just want to be a bunch of fucking enablers. Enable people to be fat. You don't have any problem telling a friend who's putting a cigarette in their mouth, stop smoking, it'll kill you. But if they're fucking down in a box full of Hostess cupcakes, you fucking don't say anything? So, but anyway.
I was referring to Don't Worry, Darling, and the situation with Olivia Wilde.
Well, she got made to look really bad.
Yeah.
He made her look stupid because apparently this is not fucked up Shia LaBeouf. This is recovered Shia LaBeouf from his booze and drugs.
Yeah.
And he just shut her down. And I'm like, I was a little thrown by that. I'm like, what the fuck did Shia just do? He just fucking outed somebody of being full of shit and lying.
Well, probably to protect someone else is what I'm hearing.
Oh, really? What are you hearing? What are you hearing, buddy?
To protect Florence Pugh. That the reason why Shia LaBeouf didn't do the movie is because of Florence Pugh.
Really?
Yeah.
So what are you hearing happen or anything?
What I heard was that part of that whole thing about Shia LaBeouf basically telling Olivia Wilde that this isn't true is that he had a lot of emails, text messages, and a video message sent to him by Olivia Wilde that he passed on to prove what he was saying. They've got her on video pleading with him to come back.
Well, who is the problem, though?
It's looking like Florence Pugh had a problem working with Shia LaBeouf, and that she was pulling a lot of big star type of things to get him removed. And Shia decided he didn't need it. He didn't need to go through this. She was throwing a fit. He didn't need to be there because he knew that ultimately nobody really come to believe him, even though he's a completely changed person. And since she's the big rising star, he decided he left. But Olivia Wilde tried to get him to come back. She tried to work it out to have both of them in the movie, and he didn't want to do it. He had been that problem person. He knew what he was up against. It's like, no, I'm not going to do it.
That's so interesting, and this is what I'm hoping maybe happens with Ezra, because there's nothing more wonderful to me than someone going through the redemption process. It's wonderful, and Ezra's fucked up. I don't think it's booze and drugs though with him. I think it's mental illness.
Yeah, he needs
And
time.
once again, I point out that recidivism with mental illness, people's bad behavior, is really high. And they can't help it because Hollywood is historically full of people with mental illness. Frances Farmer, probably one of the most famous cases, to the point where they fucking did a frontal lobotomy on her. And it fucked her life up. Frontal lobotomy is just awful what it does. I took care of an elderly woman when I was a nurse who had a frontal lobotomy. And it was like, you could see the wonder and beauty in that person, but then they're not home at the same time. And it's fucking tragic with those doctors. There was one primary doctor who started it, but there are other doctors who practice this barbaric method. And but Ezra, and I want to go back to what I was saying to Gap Stargate. What's Gap's name now? I forgot. Gap changed it to something.
After Dark.
After Dark. Gap After Dark. Gap, I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. I mean, you have to make your own mind up. I know that. But I'm going to say this to you and hope that it lets you see things the way I see it, which is, like I had been with Star Wars, I want to support nerd films. Because, and I've said this many times since we started the show, that we are so blessed, even with the shit that we get, to still be in a nerd spring. It's a geek spring. Like we've never seen before in our lifetimes. Keith, John, you and I are old enough to remember when we hardly had anything in the movie theater or on TV. And we would get anything, we go, oh my God, something new is going to happen. Now it's all the time.
And these kids today are totally expecting this to last, and those of us that are older are expecting it to end. We're expecting it to end at any time.
Exactly, because it's sort of like, it's hard to picture in your mind the world before you existed. And we were there. We remember when the world was devoid of cool nerd shit. The only place we could get it was in magazines, comics included, to the occasional TV show and the occasional movie.
And Saturday morning cartoon.
Since the 2000s. And I really do thank Blade for this. Blade changed the landscape for us. Blade showed that not only would it be a good film and a fun film, but a lot of people, they would make a lot of money on it. And there you go. And it's all about money. It's what drives business. Even the woke shit. The problem with the woke shit is you had people in charge that were trying to hide the losses. And that's what all these audits you're hearing are about. And Keith and I are expecting huge changes. Good morning, Adega. How are you? And I didn't say hi to Baked Bean. Good morning, Baked Bean. Did I miss anybody else? Who else have I missed, Morton?
The Peter Venkman.
Peter Venkman's here. Oh, good morning, Peter Venkman fan site. Good morning.
Black Ass.
Who?
Black Ass.
Oh, Black Ass is here. What's up, Black Ass motherfucker? I got to say again, Gap, all of you, look. In order for there to be more Flash films, with or without Ezra, we need to see that first one. And if they're going to put it out, I'm going to go see it. I'm going to go see it for Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill and everybody else. And because I support Warner Brother Discovery with what they've done, I'm going to show that support by going to see this movie. Because if it gets released, it's going to be released for a reason. Some of those reasons, you might not like them or agree with them. But overall, showing support to what they're trying to do. Because if we don't go see that film, everything that David Zaslav is doing gets damaged.
Or at least redirected a different direction. Remember.
And we don't want that. We don't want that.
There's an upside and a downside to someone like a David Zaslav. You got to understand right off the bat. David Zaslav is not one of us.
No.
People really need to understand why we like him, is because there's a lot of problems with Warner Brothers, and he's cleaning up those problems. The downside is that the moment he thinks something doesn't work, he'll go a different direction.
Yep. So please support your local sheriff. I mean, support anything that comes out from Warner Brothers. It's so important to really look at the bigger picture on this, Gap. And the bigger picture is all of this could go away. And if you're okay with it going away, I can't change your mind. I'm not okay with it. I want it to be here. I want Star Wars to survive these fucking assholes. I know down the line we're going to finally get good Star Wars. It's going to happen because life is cyclical.
Yeah.
You go through your highs and you go through your lows. And Kathleen Kennedy is the lows for Star Wars. Absolutely. I considered the prequel trilogy to be kind of the lows because he made decisions that were goofy as fuck. Yes. And you think that he would have changed his mind. But no, he still stands by his belief that Jar Jar was an important character. He really fucking still believes that. And he feels a little betrayed by us. Whereas we felt betrayed by him.
And you know what? I'm fine with that. I would rather take more characters like that and George believing in it than what we've gotten with Disney Star Wars. Because none of that is based on anything other than a hatred of us, you know?
Yeah.
It is, and that's the only way I can put it. There is absolutely...
Well, I've always suspected, Keith, that his selling of Star Wars was over his disappointment with us.
Some of it was.
But
I think
what he didn't understand is that he tried to say this movie is for kids. And so is the first Star Wars, and that's not totally true.
Yeah.
The first Star Wars was for teens. That was the kids he was talking about. Mm-hmm. And C-3PO, as much as he says was railed against, that's not true. C-3PO is actually one of the most popular characters. He has this false narrative that he likes to talk about, George. And it breaks my heart when he does it because he's wrong. He's absolutely wrong when he talks about C-3PO being the Jar Jar Binks of the original trilogy. And I'm like, that's not true. Fans were not railing because we didn't have the internet then. We relied on magazines like Star Blazer, Starlog. What was that one by Scholastic that they produced that we all... Dynamite.
Ooh, God, you are reaching back.
Yeah.
Wow.
As kids, that's what we relied on, was those kinds of things. And of course, if I didn't say it, Starlog, Cinefantastique, Cinemagic.
Even People Magazine, who put out a special all Star Wars issue in I think about a month after the movie came out. After the film became a designated hit, they put together an entire issue about Star Wars. This is 1977. I mean, that's how big we're talking this film became. I mean, there were people that went to that movie that weren't the biggest science fiction fans that enjoyed it. Everybody went.
Yeah.
It was all Star Wars from May of 1977 for the rest of that year and into the following year. It was all Star Wars amongst us nerds, and then Superman came out.
And I'm going to tell you, though, I am going to tell you that, yes, there were little kids that went to see Star Wars because it was a movie that they could go see.
Yep.
But I'm going to tell you that film was directed at post-pubescent kids.
Yeah.
All the heroes in that film are all designed to be attractive to post-pubescent kids. It was not designed for little kids. Little kids came along with it because they made cool toys.
Yep.
But the fact is, the people that made the most money for Star Wars, the first film, were adults and teenage. 12. I consider it 11-year-olds too. 11-year-olds through their 30s. And so, I'm sorry. Keith just threw up in his mouth a little bit. I'm sorry.
Well,
what the fuck are you doing?
I
didn't
don't
read that last comment. Oh yeah, you were busy talking. Bill had a comment that Bill, really, dude? Really?
Yeah.
Oh wait, go back to it. I was reading it.
Oh no, that was it.
No, I'm talking to that previous message.
Oh,
Martin, that previous. Thank you. They made him a background character in the other movies rather than improve his character. Well, that's the way George is. That was, I got to be honest, that's a George Lucas tantrum. Don't think that George Lucas wasn't capable of a tantrum, because his greatest frustration in all of this was Empire Strikes Back, because it has his DNA, but that is all Irving Kershner. Because Kershner said, if I'm going to direct this for you, leave me the fuck alone. No backseat directing me. And that's why Empire stands out the way it does. Mm-hmm. Return of the Jedi has goofy shit in it because Lucas was the backseat director of that film. That director, the reason why it's hard to even remember his name is he is just not really the director of the film. George Lucas really directed Return of the Jedi. He was on the set every day.
Well, Richard Marquand was also suffering, I think, from cancer. So I think Lucas was able to do certain things.
Yeah, because you told me about that before. I was unaware of it previously until you told me about that. But the fact is, Lucas directed that film. And there's one thing on there. I know it irritates me. I don't know about Keith. But I hate the Ewoks existing. Because it was originally supposed to take place on Kashyyyk with Wookiees. And Chewbacca was supposed to be going there for family reasons. Just like in the stupid Star Wars holiday special.
Mm-hmm.
With Grandpa. God, watching porn. That was fucking awesome.
Well, look, to get this back to even with Warner Brothers, I will say this. Those of you who were watching Sil Abdul's show yesterday with Mikey Sutton, let me just say, as a DC fan, I'm beyond excited. I'm beyond excited for what if David Zaslav is actually doing what I'm hearing that he's going to do with this and has authorized them to go a certain direction. Anyone who didn't hear that show, then let me give you some breaking news. They are going all in with Green Lantern in the way that I have been saying since we first started this show. No more jokes.
Yeah, you and I have talked about this previously, that we would love to see a serious Green Lantern.
Well, guess what? They are going all in, starting with movies. They are going all in with the Green Lantern Corps, with the whole cosmic side of DC. They are going to do it.
Because it's something you and I have complained about, that Marvel focuses too much on the mystical shit, and they turn characters that weren't mystical into like
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi is a kung fu master. There's nothing mystical about him.
Yeah.
They made his dad the Mandarin, all that shit, and it's like, get back to the sci-fi aspect and the cosmic aspect of it. That's what Doctor Strange was, and that's what Swamp Thing is.
Yes.
Really, in the long run, that is what Man Thing is about. And DC going, basically embracing the cosmic aspect. I'm fucking stoked about that too, brother.
Well, they're gonna. I'm hearing that they're gonna try to do the colors, but that the first villains are going to be the Manhunters, is who they're going to start out with. And all of you out there who have been saying John Stewart, if you haven't seen the video that was put out from Zack Snyder of who he originally had in Zack Snyder's Justice League before John Stewart, you need to watch that, because it was going to be Hal Jordan and John Stewart.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guess what? Hal Jordan is being looked at for this movie with John Stewart coming in. Okay. It's the both of them, the rest of the Corps, the Manhunters. We're going to get the whole 9 yards, and no more of this goofy stuff that like you saw in the Ryan Reynolds movie. They are going to use the entire cosmic thing to open up the sci-fi angle. and just totally go
And
off.
even more importantly on this is that we're no longer going to see the dipping the toes in to make them attach and then withdrawing. It's going to be, everything's going to be connected.
Yep.
And this is what we've been asking for all along.
Okay, Wayne T. Carr is going to be part of it, but he's going to be John. They are looking at an actor right now to be Hal, and they are not going with what we had heard about with killing Hal off. That is no longer an option. We are bringing in the Green Lanterns, and we are bringing them all in.
But we need to talk about also the Joker 2, which is a musical. And it's a musical because if I'm reading correctly, what I've seen is he's insane. And he is, what you're seeing is what's in his mind.
The unreliable
narrator, because he was the unreliable narrator in the first film. So you have to question what happened, what really happened. And it's going to be the same thing with the sequel. And I think this will be one of the few things that's going to be a standalone. I don't think we're going to see the Batman 2. I don't think we're going to see it. It's going to be reworked, and we're going to probably get Ben Affleck's vision of what he wanted to do with Batman. I really do see that.
I think if they can work something out, yeah. But I mean, look, $70 million for all you people that like the Batman. $70 million is what we need to see with this next Batman movie if they're going to make the Batman 2. You got to learn how to do it for $70 million or less, or else.
Yeah, 50 million. I've always stood at 50 million. I've always stood at 50 million. Don't go over it. You've got a better chance of recovery.
Yeah, War Monkey
for under 50.
I totally get you, dude, but you got to understand. There are a lot more characters in Green Lantern than just John. And while the Justice League animated series was fun, that was not a proper version of the Justice League. For those of us that grew up reading John Stewart's adventures in comics, they left a lot of stuff out. And they used his character in a way that ultimately felt kind of false to me. You know, John loved being a Green Lantern after a while. He loved it. But it wasn't like I'm the only Green Lantern type BS. He was a part of a group. All of the Lanterns of 2814 enjoyed being around each other. Some of them had interpersonal problems. I'm looking right at Hal and Guy. But for the most part, they enjoyed being around one another. So this false thing about them, you can't have one with. I mean, that's Marvel BS with Peter Parker and Miles Morales. You can't do that. It's all or nothing. And so Miles Teller is being looked at to play Hal Jordan. And so,
by the way, I want to go to what Pat S said there. Read what Pat S just said. Can you put that on the screen, Martin?
About what?
As long as Miles Teller leaves that thing off his face.
$50 million in 2019 dollars is what he said. I want that highlighted. Thank you. Okay, inflation is a bad thing. We're seeing a lot of inflation, but I'm going to tell you that internally, that inflation is different in Hollywood because the services in Hollywood outside of craft services are going to remain pretty much the same. So 2019 dollars still is 2019 dollars or 2022 dollars in Hollywood when it comes to stuff like this, because they control the value of everything within the studio system. It's their own little economy. So inflation, external inflation, will only impact when it comes to craft services, because that's where they have to purchase things externally. So the actor is still going to work for the exact same wage they worked for in 2019. Correct me on this, Keith, if you think I'm wrong.
No, you're not. You're not.
You know, that's the thing about studio systems. They're their own. A lot of people don't know this, and I've talked about Disney World. I said, I designed the logo for the company that ran security for Disney World. And what I learned doing this, because I designed all their marketing materials, how the security works there, they are their own country at Disney World. They have their own CIA. They have their own fucking FBI.
Well,
they've got their own law enforcement. They've got their own military.
Everything they made fun of in Beverly Hills Cop 3 is pretty much true about Warner Brothers.
That's right.
About Disney.
And I learned this firsthand by designing that logo for that company because I had to know what they did. And when I saw what they did, they have their own fucking command center that overlooks everything. And I mean, they watch everything. And it's crazy. It is crazy. Disney World is its own country. And that's why when they get hit with those tax dollars, it hurts their country. And that's when they start waking up going, maybe we need to walk away from this woke shit because it's hurting our bottom dollar. We need to walk away from it. Yeah. If it's good for the bottom dollar, they'll stick with it. But when it's bad, they'll walk away from it. And I guarantee you that Bob Chapek has to look at that. But, you know, do not think of Disney World like it's some other company. Disney Productions, which home office is not in California at Anaheim. It is in Florida. When I got offered the job to work in Disney Animation, I was going to go down to Florida because that's where it's run from. And but I found out what my job was going to be, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm too old for this. They wanted me to be an eraser. Now, anybody that works in animation knows what that means. That means you're not doing any drawing. You're cleaning up other people's work. And didn't want to do that. I was like almost 40. I'm like, fuck that. No, that's okay. I'm good.
War Monkey, that's one of the look. I'm glad you enjoyed that animated film, but you do understand that recent announcement about animation and everything. The people that made that are part of that group that started making a lot of changes to a lot of stuff, and they're, I think, amongst
you're talking about in the 2010s, yeah.
Yeah, gotta go.
Like the only things that came out that I liked in that period was Assault on Arkham and the Superman movie where you had to go into the sun.
All-Star Superman.
Yeah, I love that one.
Well, I also liked. Let's see. I like Justice League. I liked a lot of the Justice League stuff. I like the Batman stuff.
I liked the JSA. World War II.
I don't like the change in animation with Batman. That art style, I did not like it.
All of that, starting with Superman, the Justice Society movie, all of that newer stuff is part of the new group that I think is the one that's been let go. You know, they want to go back to
praise the Lord.
They want to go back to what they were doing before. I hope with the Batman storyline that they had with Son of Batman, Batman versus Robin, all that stuff. I love that stuff. That was just great stuff. But to get back to Jon Stewart, as a Jon Stewart fan, one of the things they messed up with him is the fact that he got married to the person who trained him as part of being a Green Lantern. So he was married to another Lantern for a while. And they decided not to do that in the Justice League animated series. So if all you know is that series, I hate to say this, but the comics are about to give you a dose of reality in ways that you didn't really see coming. But there are other things that they got wrong about John that I would love to see corrected in a movie so you can see how truly awesome that character was and the kind of relationship he had with Hal Jordan. The two of those guys made a phenomenal team. And it never made sense to write all those scripts where, well, we got to kill off Hal because, we got to kill somebody. It's like, that's not the way it works, kids. And having them both be close to the same age is about how they were in the comics. So, again, I know that a lot of you thought that, a lot of you made the mistake of believing Hollywood when they were telling you these stories. Hollywood never gets it right. Man of Tomorrow, that's one of the ones. That's from the new stuff. A lot of that goes.
I'm trying to remember if I even saw that one. What was the plot on that one?
That's a retelling of Superman's debut in Metropolis. That one started out being shown in theaters before they released it on Blu-ray.
I'm gonna have to go see it because I may have seen it. But I hit a point with Warner Brothers Animation. Like, I gave up when they did Gotham by Gaslight. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not watching any of your crap.
Oh yeah, I was pissed at Gotham by Gaslight.
Oh, I was too. I was fucking livid. It's one of my favorite. I own it. That's one of my favorite fucking books they put out, the Elseworld books. God damn it. You know, I always wanted it because Chuck Dixon and I talked at one point, but nothing ever came of it, of doing a, I don't know, Hyborian or Hyborian age Batman, like Conan. that was practically just out of Stone Age, where he lives in a collective city. But it's I don't know how to put it, but you know, it's just very, it's not Stone Age because they don't live in huts, but they live in buildings, and it's very reminiscent of Mesozoic period with the masonry that they would do. And I wanted to do one in that period where he's running around with a like caveman style bat head. This is a giant fucking bat, and he kills this bat and takes the head and uses it as a mask. And he liked that idea. He's like, that sounds cool. And I'm like, fuck yeah. You know,
Savage Sword of Batman.
It's like he's an actual Batman because he killed a bat, and he uses the bat wings, the actual wings from this bat, to glide and do stuff. It's just this neat idea I had because I like Elseworld Batman stories.
Also,
like, what was that other one? Because they did a Jules Verne one right after Gotham by Gaslight. That was really good too. Yeah, it was a 48-page trade paperback that was like Jules Verne era shit, Zeppelins and shit. It was really fucking cool. Very steampunk.
Because they kind of did the same thing with Superman years ago, where they had Superman in the plot of Metropolis. And, you know, well, look, New Frontier is my ultimate favorite animated DC film. And I'm hoping they go back to doing more stories kind of also like that. You know, at the beginning of the Atomic Age and all of the DC heroes. That to me is the ultimate DC animated film because it looks pretty much like the comic, except that it's just moving. And it's the color, the sound, everything is incredible. So
I'm looking it up right now to see if I can find that book.
Oh, okay.
But continue while
anyway,
I'm looking.
Anyway, yeah, look, all of us that are Green Lantern fans should be very happy that they're going to try to go and make this one of the priorities because from what I'm hearing, they're getting this from this is coming from Alan Horn advising David Zaslav about how they were able to do things. And this is something that Gary and I had talked about years ago, which is taking advantage of all of the different areas within DC that there are. War, fantasy, science fiction, magic, all of that stuff. You can't just do it by character or comic. You gotta do everything. And there are a whole lot of characters tied into this. The whole cosmic aspect of DC is tied into one another. The Manhunters, the Thanagarians, even the people of Ran, and the New Gods. How that all ties together and all the characters. And I'm not even getting to all of them. I mean, Captain Comet would be awesome to be able to see realized. There'll have to be a few redesigns, but come on, you know. They did try with the Krypton television series to open the door to both Thanagar and Ran. So if you go that direction, I mean, I think the way it was described was like, this is DC's universe that is almost kind of on like Star Wars in a sense. But you have all of these different characters that are just combined into this whole galactic type of story that you could tell. And for years, Warner Brothers kind of ignored it. Like I've been complaining, that whole, hey, why don't you guys just dive into your IP and start going through it? Because there's a lot more than what you've just adapted up to this point. And now it looks like they're going to do that.
Well, you can get several movies out of just the Ranthanagarian War.
Oh, my goodness. Or you use it as part of a background over several other films and TV shows. Because that's the other thing I'm hearing. The whole thing with Green Lantern isn't just about the films. They're going to get Greg Berlanti on board with this. None of this more goofy stuff that he's been doing. They want to make sure that everything matches. What you have on the movies is what you're going to have on TV, which means Berlanti's going to have to adjust what he's doing. Okay? So, the actor that he already had for Diggle, I'm sorry, dude. You've been at this for a while. I know promises were made, but Zaslav says, we're going to go a different direction. So I could see casting him as someone else eventually. But at this point, we're going to go all in on the entire Green Lantern Corps and may even get around to even doing the Dark Stars, I hope. The Dark Stars. That's a deep one. Deep cut, kids. Yeah.
I bet you we still won't get Jack Chance.
I'm looking, and I cannot find that damn graphic novel. It was a trade. I hate calling it a graphic novel because it was only like 48 pages, I think. Mm-hmm. And it was the typical Elseworld Batman. It was very Jules Verne. It was right after Gotham by Gaslight. And really, when you do a search, it's really fucking hard to do a proper search for the graphic novels. But man, when I pull up Gotham by Gaslight, I get so tickled by that damn book. I love that book so much.
Read Adega's book. Read Adega's book. Read Adega's book. Read Adega's book. Read it. Adega is awesome.
What's that?
I was doing a mini commercial for Adega because Adega Outlaw is cool. First season of Krypton was awesome. It was awesome. And what they did was way better than anything they had done on any Berlanti or Arrowverse show.
Yeah, but typically, though, still, because we talked about this ad nauseum too, that I enjoyed it. I didn't like season one. I had problems with season one. It's just they just can't fucking be true to Superman and Krypton. They got to always fucking go off and make these political, socio-political points, and it annoys me. But they absolutely nailed two fucking characters. And you know who they were. Brainiac and...
they nailed Zod as far as I was concerned.
Yes, Zod was good, but that wasn't who... I think that it was good, but I don't really think... No, it's... what's his name? The bounty hunter.
Oh, Lobo.
Fucking nailed him, man. That was perfect. That was the best part of the fucking show when he came on.
Yeah.
So it was fun. I enjoyed the show, but I understand why it failed. Jeff Johns is a fucking asshole.
Hey, War Monkey, when you said decent older Green Lantern CGI animated show, oh, you mean Green Lantern the animated series?
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. Yeah.
Do you mean the Doom that came to Gotham?
Doom that came to Gotham might be it, but I'm not sure what year that came out.
2000.
No, it was the first follow-up trade paperback they did, and they released it the exact same way as they did Gotham by Gaslight with the same green border. And it was very Jules Verne. There was Zeppelins in it and shit. And I owned it. I don't know if I ever read it because I get so busy and I forget to go back and read something. But I wanted to read because they were clearly. It was not Mike Mignola. I don't think he was the artist on it, but they were trying to emulate Mike Mignola's stuff.
Well, that's who did Doom that came to Gotham, because it's a
that name doesn't sound familiar. And the book came out in the either like 89 or it came out in the first of the 90s. Absolutely came out back then.
Okay.
Because I remember where I was living when I bought it. And I only lived there from 1991 through 1992. Because I went to a specific comic shop where I got it. It was in right across the bridge from Vallejo, California.
Wow.
The Martinez. I had a favorite comic shop in Martinez. And I liked El Cerrito. They had a good comic shop there too. Which also had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in it.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know what that is.
They did an animated version of the Batman meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So
definitely glad you like it. That does not sound appetizing to me at all.
I'm famous for saying that I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but pre-animated version. I like the original comic version and not what they've done with the property since then. So,
yeah.
Batman, Master of the Future.
That sounds like it.
That's
Victorian Batman faces off against a maniacal genius who is unwilling to allow the 20th century technology advances to enter Gotham.
That's the one right there. Yes, that's it. That's the one. Because I consider it almost a direct sequel to Gotham by Gaslight because it's the same period of Victorian to Edwardian period.
It may just be.
And I bought it. And I really, really fucking liked it. Yep, found it. That's the artwork. That's the one. That's the one that got me. But I'm not sure if I ever read that one because I remember the story of Gotham by Gaslight, but I don't remember the story from that one.
Yeah, that came out in 91. It was the official sequel to Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah, and I know that they were trying to draw him similarly, but it was clearly not Mike Mignola's art because Mike has a very distinct style, which he was one of those artists that had a huge impact on me with my artwork. If you go back and look at my St. Thomas artwork that I did in the 80s, you can tell that Mike Mignola had an impact on me. That's when I stopped using hatching and started using solid darks. I would use solid black ink to shade things rather than do all that cross hatching and shit. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this. It has such a better noir feel to it for me. But yeah, they need to get away and they need to remake Gotham by Gaslight, this time with a proper team and actually adapt it instead of undoing it. Because that was an insulting movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was just absolutely insulting on every level.
There's a lot of things they need to do. I mean, for me, if we're going to go back and try to really get back to where everything was good, I say go back and just restart everything from where it was. Well, with animation, I would go back about 8 years, 8, 9 years. I would hire back the team that was doing all your Batman direct to video films, because look, that's the reason why I kept saying on the show, they might as well just do a Batman television series.
Oh, that's like Justice League Dark Apocalypse War era art.
Yeah, but I mean with that cast, because you had nearly everyone in that. I mean,
yeah, I got to tell you, if I were to do a Batman series, one of them I would push for it because Michael Keaton probably could use the work. I would do a 10-part Batman series, either based off of Dark Knight or Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton.
See, Michael Keaton be perfect in Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
You know why he doesn't work in the Snyderverse, by the way? Because all those people are fucking tall. You know what I'm saying?
True.
He would look like a fucking child against Momoa.
Oh, that's just Momoa. He'd look like a child a small child.
Have you
next
seen
to
the
Henry
picture?
Cavill.
Have you seen the picture of Momoa with his bodyguards, where he's towering over his bodyguards?
Yes. It's so fucking funny.
It is. And think of Michael Keaton next to Gal Gadot.
Yeah, because she's hot. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say that. But anyway, I think that Michael Keaton deserves his shot. I think that Zaslav owes him.
Oh, of course. Well,
after what just happened,
Hamada messed up. If he had the power to be able to bring in someone like Michael Keaton, he should have just somebody should have just should have just gone to his office and slapped him until he woke up and it's like, hey, I think it's time for a Batman Beyond movie, which would have been bigger. It would have been the biggest thing they ever made. He almost would not have even lost his job if he had actually authorized that. I mean, look at all the movies that he's authorized and look at all of the stuff that's happened since then. If he had actually decided to do a Batman Beyond film, I think Zaslav would have even allowed that to come out. He would have you know what, I'm not going to touch that. Let's check this out.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I got to tell you, I wouldn't mind because is Batman ever going to go into the public domain?
Eventually. I mean,
Superman he was invented in the 30s, right?
Yeah, he'll go in the public domain along with Human Torch and Namor. All three go in at the same time.
And Captain America eventually too, because he was right up there too.
He was the following year.
Yeah, the following year. So, we've got all these superheroes that are going to be moving into the public domain now that Disney can't fucking manipulate the system anymore. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to get Keith to work with me. I'm not even going to go to Chuck Dixon. I'm just going to get Keith to work with me. And anybody else that wants to work with me on writing the script and doing my version of Batman with that actual bat cowl from a giant bat.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And what is it? I forget Conan's Hyborian Age. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Kind of make a Hyborian Age. Fuck it, crossover with Conan. Fuck, he's in the public domain now. Batman versus Conan. You guys do it. I'll do a crowdfund. And I will bring in one of my artist buddies and we'll draw it together.
I mean, there are so many characters that DC has. I mean, think of it this way. They could actually turn around and do Warlord.
Hi, Apollomy.
Now, I know a lot of you probably don't know who that is. So
shit, hold on. Hi, Read by Nature. I missed a bunch of people.
I know you do, John. But I mean, a lot of you out there who aren't as old as we are, Warlord was amazing, and you wouldn't even think to even think that was a DC property, and yet it is. And you could put that together with Amethyst, and along with
Aaron, Sorcerer of Atlantis.
There you go. Look at you, mate.
Yep, outstanding. Bill Barkley, hello. I missed Martin, I can't see who's jumping in, so I need you actually interrupt and say when people jump in this episode because I can't see anything. I don't see our private chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I told you I have no control over the phone because it's smaller, and I don't know where anything is.
Hello.
But who else jumped in? Did I miss anybody else?
Ptolemy's Minion.
Sox Bulletin. Magitech Max.
Yeah, I already said to that one, Keith. Magitech Mags. Hi, Magitech. Hi. Anybody else?
Scribe Light.
Scribe is here. Jesus Christ.
And Christopher Carroll.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you.
Scott Lewis, he was here from the first time your connection
God damn
ended.
I hate saying hello to people. I really do. All right, thank you, Martin. But we are reaching the end of this show. because apparently Mint is fucking serious. It's not one of those things where, once you use up all your regular data, you'll go on the lower level where you just get what we give you until the next cycle. No, they kicked me when I disappeared during the middle of it. When I was talking about something, Mint kicked me.
Wow.
So, yeah, they're dead serious with that. And they charge $10 per gig when you want to buy it. So I just bought $10 worth of gig so I could do this episode. So I want to tell you, I'm fucking ecstatic over that. That's ecstatic. Fuck. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Keith, got anything else you want to add?
I'm good. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and especially, again, just say I'm really happy to be here with you, John, and Gerry, and oh man,
that guy. What's his name? Martin.
Oh, I was just gonna say with Martin, it's like, Martin, you are amazing, dude.
Yeah, he has taken over the right hemisphere of my brain. And I fucking, man, you don't realize how much you need somebody until you try to do something without them, and then you go, fuck. Martin, can you do me a favor? Can you do the thank yous? Because I don't know where the private chat is for all the names.
Hold on, I'll do it.
Okay, you can do it.
Okay,
I appreciate it, man.
Here are the thank yous. Scott Lewis, Read by Nature, Bill Barkley, Black As, Scribe Like, let's see, Adega Outlaw, Bang Bang, Socks Bulletin.
You need to go to the top of the chat.
I did, didn't I?
Nope.
That's as far up as
I don't know.
That's as
D-Bud
far.
Martin, Gaffed After Dark, Pat S., Penny, Lauren Worth, Dr. Dragon, Stephanie Beatty, Monkey Jeebus, Baked Bean, Don't Call Me Wave, Hex Allen Comics, Kingsport Cow, Mr. Tickle Trunk, Peter Venkman Fan Site, Christopher Carroll, War Monkey, Scott Lewis, Read by Nature, Bill Barkley, and that's where Keith picked up.
Adega Outlaw, Bang Bang, Socks Bulletin, Magic Mags, Apollome's Minion, and 10 Man.
Thank you, everybody, for watching the show today. I got to tell you, it's fucking awesome every day getting to do this. I'm sorry we didn't get to make it the Milius day like I wanted, but fucking internet, We will save it for another day. Keith, you weren't here for this. Dale and Julia worked with John Milius.
Really?
And so therefore they are, she called me before the show today, Julia did, and updating me on how things are going with their move to Texas, how it's been this year, all the stuff they've gone through. And I said, look, I've never asked for anything, because I don't. I just, there are a few celebrities I give a shit to fucking meet or talk to. But John Milius is top of that list. I've been a fan of his since I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And when I became aware of him in middle school, I became a fan immediately because of Conan. And I started reading what this guy did, and I'm like, I love everything he's ever done. And they, having worked with him, know him personally. So they are going to put me in contact first with his assistant, and we'll see where it goes from there. My concern is that he's had, since he had the stroke, if he's even able, because aphasia is so common, and with aphasia, it often is the loss of the ability to speak.
Yeah.
And if not, I would like to at least be able to email with him and ask him some questions and read those online. That's my hope. Yeah. That is my hope, because I love John Milius. I really do. I adore that man.
The man.
I idolize him in many ways because he's a madman. And even though I do enjoy John Goodman's version of him in that movie, the Dude movie, I forget the name of it. That's still not Milius. It's nothing compared to him, because Milius is one of the sharpest dudes you'll ever fucking meet. And when he got, and proof again, you know, when you are partners and friends with Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Francis Ford Coppola, Martin Scorsese, and Brian De Palma, and you get blacklisted in Hollywood, and those guys are your bros, they're not your bros. See what I'm saying? That pisses me off to no end. Because you are either, Big Lebowski, because that John Goodman's character is based on him. So, but I'm running out. Yep, it's telling me I'm about to run out. They're going to kick me off fucking data again. So I better end this very quickly. So let me go find our outro. Let's see, where's it at? I can actually find that. Woo, that's so nice, Gerry. Yeah, you're so nice. There we go. And I'm going to hit play on that, and we're going to get the fuck out of here. Martin, I'll need you to end the show because I can't end it. I don't know where that button is. But I am going to hit the ending of the show. So thank you all for being here, and we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is UFO Wednesday. Don Ecker will be here. All right. Bye, guys. All right. Hit play.
Y'all come back now.